Dairy farming is a key component of our economy in Kenya, and in Africa at large, majority of the societies rely on dairy and livestock in this case to meet their day-to-day needs. It is therefore important to get it right whenever we want to talk about our economy, and whenever we also want to talk about wealth creation and wealth generation at a personal level. It is also very important to consider dairy farming, and I know majority of us, wherever we come from, and even if you are in the city, you have at least a single animal in your home, and if not, you ought to consider getting one. So even back in history, so Africans used to do farming, and farming has been part and parcel of our lives. It is actually even unimaginable how you could not be rearing at least a single animal. And in other communities, you find that this has been a main source of their livelihoods. When you go to, the South Rift and also some parts of Narok and Kajiado counties, these people have inherently been livestock keepers. Uh, you know, also in the central Kenya regions, North Rift as well. So you find that, dairy or livestock in this case are part of our, a part of our lives, and we cannot do without them. So this brings me now to the methods that we use when it comes to now working on our herds. How do we take care of our herds? Having visited a number of the counties in the country, from Garissa all the way to Bungoma and all the counties in between, we have observed the main types of production systems that dairy investors adopt. And among them include intensive systems. This is also called zero grazing. We also have got semi-intensive systems. These where partly the animals are let to go and graze, although their owners are very keen on ensuring that they get supplemental or other supplements to feed, to make sure that they are, topping up what they haven't gotten from the field. The other production system is majorly adopted in the semi-arid areas, or rather the ASAUs, arid and semi-arid areas. And this is extensive system. This is where the animals are only allowed to go and graze, but they do not get what we call supplemental feeding. So we are highly encouraging every dairy investor to consider at least a semi-intensive production system, because it has got many more benefits. It has got many benefits, and these benefits include higher productivity. Of course, the animals that are being supplemented with other sources of feeds will always have higher yields as compared to those that are entirely in the extensive systems, those that are, just allowed to go and fed for themselves, because dairy cattle require huge and massive investment in nutrition. And as such, you need a lot of protein, a lot of energy, a lot of minerals, and also vitamins in order to keep these animals healthy and more productive. Again, allowing the animals to graze on their own, denies them enough time to have the comfort that they need in order to be more productive. When the animal spends the whole day going out fending for themselves, of course they won't get enough time to make good use of the feed that they have just consumed. So it is important, even if you are at the moment practicing extensive system, gradually consider making sure that these animals have got a supplemental regimen, where you are going to supplement them with concentrates, the ones that are rich in energy, rich in protein, rich in the most essential vitamins and also minerals, in order to ensure that they are in good condition. Again, you should also make sure that you are storing or conserving more feeds for them. Because when you fail to conserve feeds for them, and you solely rely on the extensive systems, in most of the areas, the semi-arid areas, and about 70% of our land is actually a nasal area, you find that you'll be having bouts of droughts, and these are going to affect your animals, and your herds you have to decrease because you don't have enough fodder to sustain them. The fields are dry, they can't get water, they can't get any feed from the fields, and therefore this will pose a threat to the sustainability of your venture. But you can be able to cope with the same if you consider working on keeping the hay, the grass that is found in these fields, when it is during a rainy season. You could ask someone to harvest the grass for you, ensure that it is properly cured, or rather it is allowed to dry. Once it dries up, it is then taken up and put in a store where you will be getting that grass when the animals come back in the evening or even before going to the fields. We highly recommend, for example, majority of the dairy investors in, for example, Nyandarua County actually prefer extensive systems. Although now, it could be unbelievable because majority of their neighbors are actually doing, intensive systems. So we actually advise them to do this. Ensure that your animal is fed on enough fodder before going to the fields. And this because, in the first place, our grazing fields are growing smaller and smaller by day. And as such, the forage that they need to consume, a mature cow needs to consume about 70 kilograms of fresh fodder. So you can convince me enough that you'll be having sufficient amount of land to feed these animals and keep them in the good condition that they ought to be in order to give you more milk. Of course, all the animals will be doing, they will be making more manure, and in this case, only at night when they are in your compound, but no milk, no meat. Their heat cycles will be delayed because they consume a lot of energy walking to and from the fields, and wastage of energy, especially in animals that you are expecting production from. And this applies to both beef and milking cows. So any wastages in the energy that these animals require always is a loss or counts a loss on your side. So you need to make sure that these animals do not undergo any form of stress. You are actually giving them sufficient feeds before they can go out there in the field to get any grass, and also ensure that when they come back, they get some concentrate, they also get mineral leaks, and even if you might be talking about, this being expensive, it would be expensive to maintain a good supplementation of minerals to your animal in the long run, because failure to that would cost you the whole herd. For example, animals during early lactation, and remember, in majority of our places we have got soils that are incompatible with the most essential trace elements, and therefore this means that they aren't getting those trace elements in the field, so you have to feed them. If you fail to do that, when they calve down, they will be suffering from milk fever, unable to stand. They are actually unable to cope with the situation. They also fail to be able to give you any substantial amounts of milk. And remember, the reason why we are into dairying is to make money out of it. It is actually an equal investment opportunity. We have been mentioning this over and over again, that in some places like the Netherlands, this has been taken up Netherlands and Norway, the Scandinavian countries, this has been taken very seriously. And even when you can look at some markets, even in Switzerland, you know, you find that these people take dairy very seriously. They actually do even cheese, and cheese that is actually very, very expensive, is actually viable for exchange even in the large markets. And this has been part of their economy.